Welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It's your Thursday night freak show. And sorry we're late. This has just been one of those shows. And look who's back. Look who's back in L.A. and back on the show. It's Josi Kat.
Hello, Dark Minions.
Oh, Josie. And we also have our guest today. You know, I normally don't have stand-up comedians on the show.
It's the competition, I understand.
Well, we've had a stand-up comic who was really bad that said that once on the show.
Well, I'm worse. You don't have to worry a thing about me. I got no material, and the stuff I do remember is even worse than that.
Yes, who we have tonight, because if we're going to have a comic, we might as well have the worst comic. This is the worst comic, not only in L.A., but all in the United States, as far as I know. I've never seen somebody mid-act who wasn't starting a fight get ejected from the club owner for being that bad. But this guy did it.
Yes, it's one of my trademarks. It just seems to happen.
Yeah, so by the way, I guess that's comedy shtick with the hands these days.
Yeah, well, that's all I got. It's my movement. It's sort of like a ballet of tragedy on stage. Because I got no jokes, you got to have something going.
Something.
Yeah, he's got something.
Show your rear end or something.
I got a URL is what I got.
We've
TheCrappyComic.com.
We've had guys who we've stapled cards to their butt.
We might do that. You're up for that, Crappy?
I've got a rather flat butt, but if you can find some room on there, go ahead.
We could staple something to you.
By the way, that wasn't funny, but that's Crappy Comic.
That's my trademark.
Oh boy!
People.
Yeah, no.
There we go. We've lost all 5 listeners.
I don't know. Maybe Jenny, if you have a stapler, we might be able to do something. I think we might.
Oh, you do?
We might. Maybe we'll have some torture later on tonight.
I love stapling things to people.
You know, this is what I do. I mean, I'm used to bad karma. You know, staplers in the face usually. But one in the ass is a nice change of pace.
And I don't know how the funny people at Cold Sluts on Fire.
Oh, she has an industrial
look at that! Look at that!
Oh my lord!
Oh, Jenny's got that's a two-handed stapler right there.
Well, you know, I was pretty sad that the mistress wasn't showing up today, but we don't need one with a stapler like that.
Right. We were supposed to have Tamika. I'm sorry, did I say Tamika? We were supposed to have Talisa Brown on, the BBW porn star, and she was sick and feel better, Talisa.
Does she eat too much?
That's funny. That's actually funny. But you should do comedy. I'm sure people have told you that. No. But so she will be on a future show, and possible wrestling and hijinks will ensue. But before we get started,
are you going to wrestle her?
Whatever it takes. I don't know. You know me. If there's a female guest and she starts talking trash, I got to put them in their place. If it's a male guest, I let it go. So we have. I wanted to get our sponsors done real quick. We've got. I know you've seen the exciting news of Doomy's Home Cooking.
What's the exciting news? No, I've been out of the country.
Well, they just posted yesterday the brunch Sundays are back.
Nice.
Yeah, they're going to have Sunday brunch, $15, all you can eat. Scrambled eggs, home fried potatoes, chorizo chilaquiles, whatever that is, pasta del giorno, breakfast burritos, grits and fixins, and $4 mimosas.
Bottomless?
No, $4 a glass, but the food is all you can eat. All you can eat. And Doobie says the best food, even if you're not vegan, even if you eat meat, it's great. So that starts this Sunday. If you're in LA, 1253 Vine Street, Los Angeles, California 90038. Crappy, do you eat meat?
I eat anything that I can get. You know, I put it in front of me, I'll eat it, but I usually throw it up. And
I've seen you. And
then do you eat it again?
Yeah, it's sort of like a dog. It's sort of like a yoga thing. It's like an ancient Indian practice where they would throw up and they would take it back in again and get the full nutrients, except that I keep throwing it back up. That's why I'm so
the nutrients,
unattractive.
The nutrients kind of...
It's a wicked cycle of vomit.
You can only do that once. You teach yoga. You can only do that once, and then after like the 5th time, the nutrients, you lose a little bit.
I would think so.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cheap, though. You know, right. I can live off a few dimes.
But also, we also are brought to you by Audible.com. Now, Crappy, you're a really bad comic. You really should go to Audible.com because they have great stand-up, like step-by-step to stand-up comedy by Greg Dean. That's 7 hours, 16 minutes. You can learn the basics. They have great comedy albums such as David Tyree's Funny, Funny, Funny. They have Bill Maher's True Story, a comedy novel. They have Louis C.K. albums. They have Carlin Gold. I would recommend Carlin Gold. You might want to listen to that and see what a funny stand-up is. They got all sorts of comedy
A
albums.
little inspiration for you.
Right.
I suppose I could use it, but then I'd get too jealous.
Or the very, very best of Laughing Stock, if you're a fan of British comedy by Rowan Atkinson, Eddie Izzard, and more. That's on there. They have a Laugh Factory podcast. They have just great.
Ricky Gervais, he's excellent. He's very, very funny.
Billy Connolly Live, the greatest hits. They've got they got everything, and they also have 50 Shades of Grey. They have Stephen King novels. They have whatever book you're looking for. They likely have it on Audible.com. Chelsea Handler's autobiography is on there now. If you go to darkmarkshow.com, click on the Audible button right next to my smiling face, and you'll get a free audiobook, free 30-day trial to Audible.com. Even if you cancel the next day, you keep the audiobook. You can put it on your computer, tablet, or phone, whatever you want.
You know, back in the 90s when those tech stocks were going crazy, I put all my life savings into Audible.com, $10,000, and the big crash and everything, no joke. I got like 23 cents left after that. But it's kind of nice that the company still survives.
Well, you got to keep the scarf, so that's nice.
Well, you know, it's a small consolation, I suppose,
right.
But, it fits me well. It goes with my skin, my pale skin.
Right. Well, we like pale skin, but usually on women. But if you like, not only will you get a free book at Audible.com, but Stamps.com. If you need to mail anything out, because I'm sure you're mailing to all the comedy festivals, you're mailing your headshot, your tape, you probably have VHS tapes of your act.
Yeah, well, I think maybe I have like DAT tapes or something. I got to work on that.
Right. If you go to Stamps.com, if you click on the Stamps button right next to my smiling face, you get a $100 value, $45 in postage coupons. That's legal tender.
Stamps.com is the new sponsor?
Oh, Stamps.com has been the sponsor for a while. Yes.
Where have I been?
I don't. Well, you've been. We're going to talk about that because you've been in Europe. But you get listen to this deal. You get you just click on the Stamps.com button right next to my smiling face. You get $45 of postage coupons. That's legal tender. You can use to mail things. You get a free digital scale.
But it will take 3 months to receive it.
Way to hype the sponsors, Josie. That's very crappy.
I got some digital drugs, so I can put them on the digital scale.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't. I cannot formally authorize that. But if that happens, that's not our fault. I'm trying to cover our ass. But that's a use.
Now, with this legal tender, could I buy a bottle of Cisco with this stuff?
Actually, around here in downtown, probably.
Maybe a new wig.
What are you talking about? This is my real hair right here.
And a 4-week free trial at Stamps.com. Get a free audiobook, get free stamps, and go to Doomy's for brunch.
I like the way he took a little piece of his toupee and added it to his...
That's his real hair. What are you talking about?
Baldness is a disease, okay? What do you want, my life story here? I'm pathetic, okay? I got to compensate somehow. So what's the matter with the little...
It's a lot of setups.
Yeah, it's a
not
setup.
A lot of punches.
There's no punchlines at all. I can't remember a damn thing. It's just all these drugs that I did. My brain's gone, and now people make fun of me because I have a disease.
But they don't laugh with you.
No, they laugh at me. That's my shtick. That's why I'm here. That's why I have the URL.
Right. Also, he was at Kamikaze. We're gonna talk to you in a little bit crappy because now it's time for the Josi Kat European Vacation Report.
Oh, Josie girl, you look so hot.
Push me down on the floor. Give it to me, baby, I need some more. Sex junkie, sex junkie, sex junkie whore. Sex junkie, sex junkie, sex junkie whore. Sex junkie, sex.
So what should we talk about first, Josie? Your television appearance this week or your European vacation?
Well, I would first of all like to give honorable mention to Mr. Kim Fowley, who we just found out passed away today.
Yeah, that's...
He's been sick for several years and been fighting cancer for about 4 or 5 bouts of it, and one hell of a tough cookie.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to really miss him. And
the guy was my hero. He was always with beautiful women. And what a talent. I mean, he managed the Runaways. He created the Runaways, in essence. Also produced everything from Alley Oop to bands in the 2000s. Kiss, Alice Cooper. The list is endless.
And I believe we were his very last performance.
He was
One
on
of
the
his last
show.
shows.
He was on the show.
Well, not only here, but my band Carrera too performed live for him.
Right.
Yeah, so I have fond memories of Kim.
When did you first meet Kim?
I first met Kim in 1995. I was referred to him to manage my band Pissant, and I called him. This was before the internet. When he was living in New Orleans, and he would talk to me for hours and hours and hours about spaceships and this and that and the other, and I would be thinking, when is he going to get to talking about my band?
And knowing Josie, that's probably a rotary phone.
It was. Yeah, so we would have all kinds of conversations for quite a long time, and then he moved back here to LA and ran
Where
into
was he
him a few
living then?
times. He was living in New Orleans at that time,
Okay.
and then he moved back to LA in mid 2000, and it was great to see him back here in town.
I used to see him all the time at the fetish clubs, goth clubs, and in his younger days, he sort of had a hair like Crappy Comic, and was tall and lanky like Crappy Comic in a weird way.
Except he was funnier.
He was funnier. Well, who isn't funnier?
I always knew when he was about to say something that was totally inappropriate because the side of his mouth would start to curl before he was about to say something that was just, going to floor you.
Right.
And I would catch him on it, and he would start busting up before he would say something because he knew I was going to bust him on it.
Did you like raise an eyebrow or like?
No, the side of his
Right, what would you
lip
do to tip him off?
Pardon?
What would you do to tip him off?
I would just call him out on it. Like, okay, what are you going to say now? And he would just start laughing because he knew he was about to say something that was going to be, crazy. He did like my home cooking and my spaghetti.
Yes, there's a picture of you feeding him spaghetti. And
he was
messy.
spitting it out. He was being a prankster.
Right.
That's my Facebook default right now.
Right.
Yeah, that was right after he got out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Probably about this time last year.
Yeah, no, I remember last time I saw him was at the stockroom party, and he was he was in a wheelchair, cancer ridden, with like four beautiful women rolling him around. I'm like,
yes, I was
that's
there.
style right there.
That is style.
Yeah, I have a photo with him from that. That was.
I think I might.
That was one of his last outings.
It really was, and yes, rest in peace, Kim. And please go to the Skid Row Studios archives. We did a show with Kim Fowley where he called in, and it was a great show, and he was such a raconteur. That was our second show here, and it was a great show.
It was fun.
It's called Kittens with Diabetes, or Kittens for Diabetes, because you were in a calendar for kittens that apparently are for diabetes. But definitely look for that. It's been a rough week. Actually, last week we had a funny comic on for a change, Matt Walker.
Overrated.
Yeah, Matt Walker, who just came out with his comedy special and comedy album, Hater. And I found out the next day that Matt Walker's father passed away the same day that he was on the show.
Oh, no.
And he did the show anyway. And Jenny will tell you, it was very
wow.
funny. And remember Matt Walker from last week? His father died the same day he was on the show.
Like before or after?
Yeah, like he found out before the show.
Before he went on the show.
But he went on the show anyway, and he was very funny. You would never know.
Yeah,
It was hilarious.
I wouldn't have guessed.
And he talked about his big dick and the whole thing. So I want to thank Matt Walker again. I've thanked him a few times, but I mean that's class, and that's somebody that that's.
Well, the show must go on. He's a true professional if he's coming in, with all this tumult in his life.
Right. And, even with his father dying, it was much funnier than Crappy Comic will ever be. But
more power to him.
And Crappy Comics, being in the LA scene, we had it was tough this week. Our friend Robert Murray passed away, and he was my Facebook picture for most of the week. And this is a guy that was so nice to everybody and was just always supportive. He was there, and he was there till the end, and was just. And he was a big Josi Kat fan. He would see pictures of you, and his eye would go wide, and he'd have a big smile, and he really dug you. And even Crappy Comic. I mean, most of the comics in LA can't stand him because he sucks. But Robert Murray, if you recall, would stay for your fan. He would stay for your whole set. I remember being in clubs where I would walk back in. You would be doing your set. And the only people were there were the bartender because they're paid to be there, and Robert Murray, and he was
and the janitor.
Well, and Robert Murray would not you're not funny, so he wouldn't laugh, but he was smiling and was nodding his head very supportive.
There was something about that guy. It made me really uncomfortable. I mean, that never happens. I mean, was he trying to come on to me or something?
No.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that or anything, but why was he there the whole set?
That might be the worst gay joke I've ever heard, but he was supportive of it.
I got more.
I'm sure you do.
Coming.
No, I'm sure you do.
Please don't.
No, we'll get some more gay jokes later on. I can imagine what more gay, but he was supportive of everybody, and he was the great guy in a cutthroat industry where everybody's competitive, and some people, everybody's in little packs, and it's like high school. Everybody's got these little. Everybody loved Robert Murray.
Stand-up comics, they were absolutely the worst people alive. They're the dirt of the dirt out there, and they all hate each other.
It's true, except for Robert Murray. Everybody loved Robert Murray, so rest in peace. And also, I was sad to hear Taylor Negron died this week. Taylor Negron, the wonderful comedian and actor. Taylor Negron from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He was in The Last Boy Scout. He was in a lot of movies. Easy Money, my favorite, when he played Julio. Can I call you Dad? He was great. I met him once, and we talked for like an hour. We really hit it off, and he told me, he's like, you're like one of these old time comedians that they don't make anymore. You're really funny. Gave me a lot of good advice, and just told me great stories about being on the Easy Money set. He said Joe Pesci was a pain in the ass. He said Joe Pesci insisted on having a singing scene in the movie, and said he would walk off unless they would film it. They filmed it and cut it out, but they filmed it. And he was a master.
That was smart. That was smart of the producer.
Master comedian and very funny actor. And stole every scene that he was in the movie. And that's somebody you should watch, Crappy Comic. That's a good comic. And rest in peace to him. So that's enough death talk. I mean, we get enough death with Crappy's act. But tell us, do you want to make the big announcement, or you want to tell us about your European vacation?
Well,
Sex in the ER.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. That's pretty funny.
We don't even need a guest tonight.
I know there's so much to catch up on.
Right.
Well, this last Saturday, I wasn't here because I was out of the country. TLC premiered myself and my bandmate, Ruby Carrera.
The Learning Channel.
Band, the Learning Channel, who brought you Honey Boo Boo and I think Duck Dynasty and some other. So
if you take Honey Boo Boo and Duck Dynasty, kind of put them together, there's Josi Kat and Roby. Yeah.
And we were featured on Sex Sent Me to the ER, and it was I just watched it yesterday. I thought it was pretty funny. I don't know if you saw it.
I haven't seen it yet, but the thing about the show is they interview the two of you, and I auditioned for the show, and apparently my sex life is not as interesting as yours. But
not a big surprise there, Mark.
We'll talk about your sex life in a bit, but
we already did. I mean, that's it. That's all I got.
There's nothing to talk about.
Okay, good.
I got a 1-inch long penis. I mean, I can't stick it in anything. I haven't had sex in. I guess I've never had sex. I just kind of rub up against things once in a while, and some kind of like goo comes out. That's about it.
Hey, what else do you need to do?
That was so close. Works. That was so close to being funny. It was almost there, right, Jenny? That was almost there.
I got to pull back.
I think he needed to stop.
I want people to faint out there in the audience. I got to pull back.
He just kept going.
Anyway,
I'll pull it back.
What I was going to ask is, the thing is, because they interview you and Ruby, the real people, your BF, and or I don't know what's going on now. You didn't describe him as such. He's going to be on the show in a couple weeks, but.
Yes,
he's your boyfriend, right?
He's my boyfriend.
Okay, so
that's correct.
So, but they had people playing the two of you. What did you think of the actress playing Josi Kat?
Well, actually, Morgan, who plays me, we've become good friends since the show's aired, and I thought she did a great job. Yeah. The guy who played Ruby, I thought was pretty funny. He was about 100 pounds heavier and had a really bad wig that looked like it was from Hollywood Costume and Toy.
Like Great Crappy Comics wig?
Almost as bad. Maybe worse.
But let's be honest, about every person on the face of the earth is about 100 pounds heavier than your boyfriend, Ruby Carrera. This
is true.
You put on Facebook a picture of you, apparently post-coital picture of you, celebrating your coming back, and it was like there's more ribs on there than Tony Roma's. It was weird. It was not the most flattering angle.
Yeah.
You got to throw Tony Roma's in the joke. That's how you get the laugh. So anyway,
That's true.
But you were pleased with
NFL audience out there.
You were pleased with how it came out.
So wait a minute,
how the show came out?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that they did a really good job on the show. They actually filmed the segment on the airplane that was used for Bridesmaids, and they had to because we were coming back from our world tour when this was the Japan segment of our tour, and so they had to have all Japanese extras, and it was called Mile High Mishap. So the actors playing us, they have Ruby flirting with everybody, and
yeah, that's so out of character.
So wait a minute, is this a reenactment?
A few hours in, a few drinks in, we're all over each other, kicking people in the seat ahead, and next thing you know, in the bathroom, and I hit the flush. He's wearing his trademark feather boa, and in goes his face into the toilet.
Can you yank on Crappy Comics?
Oh.
Yes.
This
is another reenactment.
Yeah, like that. Oh, yeah. So that's good. So that's kind of how it went.
That's how it went. It was fun. It was a really fun show to do.
And how are the ratings? Because they're talking spinoff, or what's going on?
No.
Just us.
I know they're going to re-air it.
Okay.
Definitely. Okay. That's for sure. And
I want you to be the new Honey Boo Boo.
Huh?
I want you to be the new Honey Boo Boo.
Well, we're talking about another show, but it's not. It's not a segment.
Okay, that's good. And you're just back from
I'll tell you about that later.
Well, that sounds like one for the bucket
deal's
list,
not
though.
done on that, and I don't want to jinx it.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry I mentioned it, but so do you want to talk about your European vacation? You want to talk to Crappy Comic, or you want to make the big announcement?
Well, okay, we could talk about the big announcement, and then we'll get to the vacation later on.
All right. So, you want to do it?
Sure. I have 2 more shows on the Dark Mark show. Oh,
I know. I'm starting to tear up.
Don't cry. Mark's gonna cry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be moving forward doing some yoga on Thursday nights because for fun, I like to teach yoga.
You teach yoga, okay?
Yeah.
So I mean, let's clarify that. There's 2 more shows where you're the co-host.
Absolutely.
And next week's show is going to be great. We're going to have Richie Ramone from the Ramones.
I know. I'm so excited.
And Lenora Claire.
I mean, what a great way to boot me off the show.
And then in 2 weeks, it's all going to be about you, your boyfriend, and your band, because the whole Carrera posse is going to be in
We're
there.
bringing in the whole entourage.
Right.
Dancers. We're bringing in the behind-the-scene people that do the pyro. Right. We're bringing in the roadies.
You're going to have the pyro here, are you?
Maybe.
We're bringing in
dancers.
Oh, yeah. Even Missy will be there. Right. Sasha Knox will be there.
The whole Carrera.
Why am I not on that show, Mark?
I don't know. We'll see.
Jessica will be joining.
Oh, Jessica. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have some of the people who have been guest singers and former band members.
Maybe if Fuckface Jimmy's not doing anything that night, you could just kind of slide by.
I personally know the guy. I'll give him a call and see if he's available.
Right. You never met Fuckface Jimmy.
No, I haven't.
We're going to talk about all that, but let me just say, I think of us as partners. I love. You to bring the show to where it is right now, where we're scrambling to get one guest, is great. But I mean, really, and if people have seen on YouTube our clip of the best of 2014, seen any of our shows, I mean, you're an invaluable part of the show. I'm gonna kiss your ass more in 2 weeks, but there's even more exciting news.
I'm passing the torch to a wonderful person who I just love. Her name's Nicole Six. I ran into her the other night, and we had a nice conversation.
I took her out to dinner last night. We were talking about that. You gave her some advice, and
I did.
Yeah, and
I told her to stay about 10 feet away from you the entire time.
Yeah, well, let me see. That's okay. That's all right. So anyway, Nicole Six, by the way, she's been on the show before a couple times. She's a horror writer by day, rocker chick by night, and she will be on the Carrera show. That'll be technically her debut as co-host. And on her first show, you're going to hate this.
What?
Amazon Eve from American Horror Story.
Oh, Well,
That's impressive right there.
and possibly Sig Neutron and Randy Rodel, Sig Neutron from
It's
Face Off.
Rodell, I believe.
Rodell, I'm
But
sorry.
who's counting?
I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name.
But that would be an
Rodell.
exciting show. Oh,
Yes.
that would be wonderful. I hope this happens.
We're crossing fingers, and it's kind of tentative, but that's what we're scheduling for the first show to kick her off right.
So she's been on the show before, but only on the phone. Is that correct?
Amazon.
No,
she's been here.
She's
Oh,
been
she's on-
physically
We wrestled.
on the
We,
show.
we wrestled on the show.
Oh, my Lord.
If you go to YouTube for the top 10 moments of the Dark Mark show, that's number 2 of last year. We wrestled, and you can hear the screams. She tased a young woman's breast too. It was a great show.
Have you been watching American Horror Story?
It's in and out, but I did see the episode where she kicked the shit out of Chickless. That was great.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It was awesome.
So let's talk about Real Horror Story. This is Crappy Comic.
Here I am.
In
the flesh.
Now, who? This is what I've been having seen your act and how horrible it is.
Mm-hmm.
Who in the world said, "Hey, you should do comedy"?
Well, it was my ex-wife.
And that's why she's an ex.
Yeah, she had this crazy scheme where she didn't want to work at all, so she thought that I had like such an anthropomorphic view on the world that would be really funny. Apparently, that wasn't the case. But she did have a business, and she was able to move money around. I think it was more or less a bank scheme where she was like embezzling money somehow, and she would send me out on the road and set up these elaborate schemes.
So she was trying to get you out of the house so she could embezzle all your money.
Yes, she was using me for she used me for everything,
And
but
what kind of money were you making before?
money?
What
What kind of food stamps was I getting?
She's embezzling food stamps, Josie.
There you have it.
Yes.
She always paid me in food stamps and Monsters.
Right, EBT cards is what we were doing. She was embezzling EBT cards, but so I'm just amazed that you actually got road work. That's the amazing thing.
Well, I guess it was an elaborate scheme, and she had to be precise about it. Otherwise, the feds would come in and bust this thing up. So, I would go all over the place. I would go to Nevada. I would go to Washington State, Spokane. They loved me in Spokane, and when I say they loved me, they hated me. But at least they booked me.
Right.
And all
They
the way
booked you
down
once.
They did once. They were going to do it again, but the phone broke. I don't know what happened over there. But anyway, there was a whole tour planned and everything. It fell through. I wound up in Vegas, in the gutter as usual. And I eventually crawled all the way back.
Is that where you got the hangover shirt? Because that's very hacky what you're wearing.
Oh, yeah. People keep telling me that this is something
there
or
you
other. But I don't know. I just...
Oh, you don't even get... Yeah, you're a little paunchy. You might want to lose a little weight there.
Yeah, a bum gave this to me outside of a thrift store.
It's pretty clean.
Really?
For bumwear.
Yeah.
Speaking of T-shirts,
For comedy
I have
wear.
a big surprise here for you guys.
Well, before you do that, let me ask, how did you hook up with Fuckface Jimmy, Trixie Camaro, and our friends at Cold Sluts on Fire?
Well, they saw talent. And when I say they saw talent, they saw me laying in the gutter outside of their house.
And what do you do on Cold Sluts on Fire?
Cold Sluts, I'm glad you asked. Cold Sluts on Fire is a very wonderful comedy channel. And it's sort of like, in the old days, the SCTV. Ever see SCTV?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, it was sort of like Guy Caballero, and he had all these different shows on the network. It's sort of the same thing. It got like soccer moms on there. It got like cosplay princesses. You got like aliens from outer space.
Pyramid Guy.
You got Pyramid Guy. He's another cosplayer. And all sorts of different characters on there. And there's different skits. And if you go to coldslutsonfire.com, you can see all these skits. You can also see some of my stand-up, which is, as we've mentioned before, is a little bit not so good. But it's all there.
A little bit.
It's a little bit not so good. Oh,
Like
no,
his
I've seen these
wiener.
clips. I was going to pull a clip and play it on the show, but I really didn't want to. It's really bad. I've seen him at bar gigs. I remember that show, Universal Bar and Grill?
Oh, don't remind me out that one, Mark. How dare you?
Oh, it was he did one joke. They started throwing bottles and cans at him. It was horrible. They had to.
Rightfully so. I kind of want to do the same thing.
And the security guard was going to escort you out and make you safe, but he was pelting you with bottles and cans too. So
yeah, he wanted to get some nice cuts in there. And
Right.
Does that happen often?
Well, I usually I don't remember so much.
And what motivates you to keep doing this?
I've had too many concussions. I can't remember anything anymore. I can barely even spell cat. K-A-T, right?
That's right.
Well, at least
There
he's
you
good
go.
with that. Well, that's the one thing. Now I'll remember how to spell cat the right way now, because I remember there was a time where we were doing the show so much that I was like, I said K as in cat at one point, so that's pretty bad. But so Cold Sluts for Hire. So Fuckface Jimmy took you in.
He did.
And by the way, because you weren't here when Fuckface Jimmy and Trixie Camaro were in. I don't know if you saw the show.
No, I missed that one.
Oh, it was so great.
I think I had class.
Yeah, what they were telling us about their
Which I
porno
usually
parties.
don't.
They have porno parties on the roof. Are you invited to the porno parties?
Well, I wasn't invited to those.
He has the stash for it.
I do have the
Only
stash
his
for it. That's
mustache
true.
is invited.
Well, I mean, I know that you wouldn't be doing entertainment there. That would be horrible. But if you, you'd see the.
And he doesn't have the manliness for it either.
You know,
So-
in the contract that I signed, apparently, it excludes me from all events of Cold Sluts on Fire. It might be a Ponzi scheme. I don't know what it is. But, yeah, I'm not allowed to go to these things.
But
That's probably the smartest thing.
But are you allowed to snort sweet tarts and take some reacid?
Well, you got to, throw 2 sheets in the wind. You got to do what you got to do. If I'm allowed or not, it doesn't matter. I just go
I'm
ahead and
starting
do
to
it.
think it's stick now. The whole,
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't have
You
any
just start
jokes.
like-
I just keep going on a rant.
Right.
And then, that's where the accolades come.
But anyway, we were talking about reacid, which Josie, that's the new rage.
What is?
Reacid? Explain reacid
Oh,
to
well,
Josie.
Rihanna said it's,
reacid?
you see Rihanna on the VMAs, when she was looking at Miley Cyrus shake her little buns through those latex panties there, and it was this expression on her face. It was like living entropy. And I took that picture, and somebody took that picture, not me, and he put it on some sheets of acid, and now it's distributing through the whole world. Now, I understood, like in Thailand, now this is the rage to get a hit of reacid, a little picture
Reacid.
of Rihanna's face right on one of those sheets.
I know you were in Thailand last year. This is a new thing now.
Oh, wow.
And also
I missed out on it, I guess.
the kids are snorting sweet tarts now.
Sweethearts. That's so
Can
retarded.
you blame them? Look at the society we have. Everybody is like either out of work or a lunatic.
What kind of rush do you get from snorting sweet tarts, Crappy?
Well, it's sort of a
sugar
brain
rush?
rush. It's definitely sort of a very visceral feeling. It's similar to Ajax, but it's a little bit more sort of like roly-poly, like ecstasy.
It definitely doesn't make you funny. But,
It doesn't, not at all. It makes you miserable.
But not only is Cold Sluts for Hire, and check them out on YouTube, they actually do have funny stuff. And Crappy Comic, in the context, is good. It's like when you eat sushi, you put, you eat a little palate cleansing,
Ginger.
ginger. Yeah. He's like the ginger. Like, you're laughing so hard, you need something to calm you down. So you watch Crappy Comic, and then you watch something else on Cold Sluts for Hire. But
That's
Cold Sluts on
the
Fire.
best description of my comedy I've ever heard. And, you're a wonderful man.
But
Thank you for having me on the show.
Cold Sluts on Fire, not only are they a great comedy channel, they make great T-shirts.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
And
What
I
a
think Crappy
fantastic
Comic might
segue,
have
Mark.
some swag for us.
Yay.
Well,
I love that.
Fuckface Jimmy was on the show a couple months ago, but he forgot in his drug stupor. He forgot the T-shirts that were gifts
Was
to
he
you
on,
people.
on the reacid?
He was a little much
He must have
reacid.
been.
Or
And so
snorting sweet tarts?
Oh, by the way, Leonardo DiCaprio is doing Rihanna, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. I saw it online
No.
today. Yeah. They're
Is
spotted
he doing
kissing.
reacid
He might be doing
too?
reacid. They were spotted,
The real
smooching,
thing.
and they went to the same party. Yeah, he might be doing reacid. So let's see the T-shirts.
I got one word for that, beard. And here we go. Here is some good T-shirts for
What's he
both of
gonna-
you.
almost
I
on.
got something great for you, Mark. Now I'm
Oh,
going to
I'd love
hold
to see
this up to the camera.
Wow.
Oh, I love
This
that. I
is
can see it already.
Paris Hilton.
Nice. VD can be cured, but there's no cure for regret.
It's from an old poster
love
from
it.
the 40s.
I love it.
And I just, somebody put in Paris Hilton. So there you go, my
That's
friend.
Fuckface Jimmy. Thank you so much.
Oh.
I love that.
Oh,
And
my
you
God.
Can you can order that T-shirt on
Spelling
the
things.
Cold Sluts on Fire Etsy store, correct?
That's right. Just go to Etsy, Cold Sluts on Fire. And for you, Josi Kat, I'm very excited to give you something very appropriate. I know you bust some acid, or I'm sorry, bust some asses, maybe both. But anyway, you've got a switch going on people's asses, and one of them could be Waldo. You know, what
Where's
happened to
Waldo?
Waldo? What
That's where
happened
he
to him?
is.
Very
And,
nice.
let me
now
There's
you know
Waldo.
where Waldo is. They
That's
even
where
looked
he's
for him.
been.
You.
Thank you.
And I've got another one for you.
I'm
This is one of
so
these,
excited. I love that one.
This is
I like this one too.
some kind of cartoon.
Let's show that to the
character in there.
camera. That's My Little Pony in bondage.
Oh,
My
thank
Little-
you.
It's apparently Rose
is
Pony or
so
something.
rad.
I don't know what it is.
Right.
Thank you very
Because
much.
Josie's a brony in training.
I know. We always want to get some bronies.
We're
If you
working on
do,
it.
I have to come back as a
You're gonna be a guest.
co-host.
You're gonna be a guest. No, actually, I was talking to Nicole, and she's like, "I want Josie to be on once a month." I'm like, "All right, well, maybe, but you'll be on as a guest. If we have bronies, we're talking furries." I was talking to Johnny about
Ooh,
maybe some
fun.
furries, but actually, your friend in Honda Garage apparently is a furry.
Oh, Dookie?
Yeah, apparently so.
I could see that.
Right. So
He does just about anything.
But if you go to Etsy.com, to go to the Cold Sluts on Fire page, they've got all sorts of great T-shirts.
It's just fabulous stuff.
Right. And what is that shirt? I know.
Well,
I think that was for our other guest.
Yeah,
but
just in case anybody else wanted one. Maybe this nice young lady over there in the control
Jenny.
room,
Jenny, would you like a
just
shirt?
falling asleep. Wake up over there.
I can't fall asleep with your comedy.
That's true.
Oh, look at that. The
Most
Cold
people
Sluts
think
on
you're
Fire.
such a sweetie pie. Here
I
you
love
go.
it.
Here's a
Thank-
T-shirt just for you.
That's for Jenny.
Thank
Cold
you.
Sluts on Fire. So, Josie, you have a show coming up.
I do. We are returning to Loaded in Hollywood.
And just like
We
Crappy
were
Comic, you were
banned.
banned. You've been banned from some places.
We've been, my
Wear it
band
like a badge of
Carrera
honor.
has been banned from 3 places.
King.
King, 3 clubs, and Loaded, and now we've been asked to return back to Loaded.
That's the difference between you and Crappy Comic. Nobody asked them to return. You're banned for good.
It's true.
Yeah, we're going to try and be on good behavior.
Not too
I
many
can't
people
promise
get,
it.
Now, how
Not
did
so-
you get banned from these places? Do you have any video?
Someone probably
Actually,
does.
yeah, we do. Actually, no, I will ask you now. That's your band Carrera. Crappy Comic before the show was asking where he could find some Carrera songs or Carrera clips. I guess they're on YouTube. Or are there?
Well, I wanted to
Yeah, YouTube,
download
just-
some music on like iTunes or something. Is it on iTunes?
is there a new song that's on iTunes now, or
On YouTube.
on YouTube? Okay,
Yeah.
because you're working on an album now.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Actually, we're finished with all the recording.
Oh, okay.
So now we're doing, all the liner notes and the credits
Right.
and,
All right.
the photos and all that fun stuff. You know what that's like.
I do. So what's the song that's on YouTube? The most current song that Crappy Comic can check out.
Probably He Said, She Said.
Right. I've
Okay.
heard.
Yeah.
I'll do a search.
That's February 13th.
Friday the 13th. We're going to
Friday
do
the 13th.
2 Friday the 13ths back to back. One will be in March. One will be in February, and the other one will be in March. The one in March will be at a brand new club at Bordner's, where Bar Sinister is at, and it's a rock and roll club.
Right.
And they're going to be doing rock and roll Friday nights, and we will be bringing back the female blood wrestling. Which got us-
I got you banned in 3 clubs.
Yes. So we got approval for that, and that's going to be a really fun show. We have a lot in store
And
for
we're going
that
to talk
one.
about that in a
Really,
couple
the
weeks.
theme of the show must be wrestling or wrestlers or something like that because
It's female wrestling. We like that.
We do like that.
everybody likes it.
Right.
Even kids.
Right. Have you ever wrestled a woman, Crappy Comic?
Well, yeah, I don't like to talk about that sort of thing. I got a couple of collarbone breaks from that, and it wasn't very appealing.
How much did you pay for that?
Well, I paid in food stamps. It was quite a lot, though. I was starving for a whole month.
But it was worth it?
It was worth every penny, but every stamp. Of course, it was definitely worth it, except for the broken collarbones.
Yes. Anyway, Josie, once again, almost funny, not quite. But Josie,
I wouldn't even give it that.
yeah, I think
You're
that was
so
pretty- that was
generous,
pretty bad.
Mark.
I'm trying to. I'm so glad that you showed up. So how was your European vacation? That's what we want to know. Have you
was
ever been
fun.
to Europe, Crappy Comic?
Yeah, as far as I remember, I've never been to Europe.
Okay.
I went. Oh boy, it's contagious.
Right.
It's entropy. It's
Right.
just the entropy is flowing through the cords, the physical
How much
cords.
do we have left? Oh my God.
Right. No. I want to hear all about.
You're wearing off on me.
Well, let me ask you something before we get into all the
You're
hijinks.
welcome, by the way.
All the hijinks, because last vacation you were single and there was all sorts of things going on. This you had a boyfriend, so no European boys for you or girls.
No.
But did you do a modeling shoot while you were out there? Because some of my favorite pictures of you are past sessions in Spain.
I did not this year.
Right.
This year, actually, I'm not doing any more modeling. So I've kind of retired.
You've retired from modeling.
Yes.
And co-hosting.
Yeah.
It's all come down to
I'll
yoga.
be rocking out for a little while longer.
Okay, well, let's hope so. So what? So what happened in Europe? I want to hear.
Well, I initially was going out to Spain to stay with a friend that I like to stay with, that I grew up with, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, my daughter's having a wedding in Ireland. Well, and I thought, hey, I'll be there at the same time.
Right.
Let's, that will be great. All our other friends are going to be there.
Let's drink."
And 3 weeks later, I get my ticket, and I'm very excited about it. Hey, I got my ticket to Ireland, and wah, wah, wah. The bride's parents said no more people allowed.
So you were stranded in Ireland?
Well, I figured we could all hang out together. That will be cool.
Right.
Since we're there. I'll just miss the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this great place to stay because Ireland is not really a destination in the wintertime. So I got a great rate at a castle.
Because Crappy College Penis is 1 inch long.
Only to find out
It's true. 2
that
centimeters.
the castle is not in the same town as my friends were. So,
did you have a moat?
Pardon?
Was there a moat?
No, there wasn't.
No,
But I did make a wedding. I crashed a wedding that was there.
Oh, that's great.
And it was like the royal wedding. They had the big hats and all the craziness, and they had people were buying me, Irish whiskey and stuff. It was fun.
No, I had a hacky dick joke because I was going to say that your penis is 1 inch long. What happens when it's cold?
Nothing at all.
It turns into a vagina, or what would?
No, it's just it stays the exact same shape. I mean, you should just go onto YouTube and check it out. My ex-wife actually took some video of it and put it on YouTube's. Everybody's seen it. It's 20 million hits. But
really?
It kind of sucked. But the worst thing was that she took all the AdSense royalties.
Wah, wah, wah.
1, 2, 3, 4. So you crashed a wedding at a castle.
Yes, I did. And the castle is actually haunted.
Ooh.
And I got to stay in one of the oldest parts of the castle. So I had some fun, exploring it in the middle of the night. And
did you see ghosts?
I was looking for them, but I didn't find any.
And
yeah, that was disappointing. And then so I went to Berlin and spent New Year's Eve in Berlin. And there was about 7 different people from LA that were there.
Wow.
2 bands I know. I walked into one club and one of the bands I know was playing. And I thought, fuck, I shouldn't have paid 20 euros to get in.
Well, what's the
Like
band?
25 bucks.
What's the band's name?
Oh, geez, I'd have to look it up. It's my
okay,
friend
it's okay.
Daniel De Leon's band. He's he's been in a bunch of different bands. And then Total Chaos was playing down the street.
Oh, wow.
So I ran into my friend Sean. It was cool, my Alicia Paulson was there and my other friend Kat Williams, and it was like Hollywood invading Berlin.
Not that Cat Williams. Not the comedian Cat Williams, the one that's funny. Yeah.
No.
Different
cat.
Yeah, different Cat Williams. The one that's not punching
The one
people.
that I know I haven't studied yet.
the one that's not punching people in Target, apparently. That's that Cat Williams with 1 T.
What happened in Target?
I'll tell you all Cat Williams stories later. This is old news. Cat Williams is a nut job. Hilarious, though. So, where does the time go? And then you went to Spain.
And then I went to Spain, and I stayed in the south of Spain, and that was fun. It was, more relaxing and spa time down there.
Very nice.
Nice weather.
Right.
But much better weather than Berlin.
I can imagine.
But I got lucky in Berlin. It didn't rain. There was no snow. It was just chilly.
Right.
I got to go see the wall and Hitler's bunkers, which is now a parking lot. They have closed off the bunkers underneath the parking lot because they didn't want any neo-Nazis or anybody to idolize or worship the area. So the area has been cemented and they flooded it out where his actual bunkers used to be. Wow. And it is just a parking lot now.
Did you find it by accident?
And it says nothing about it being his former bunker where he committed suicide.
Did you find it by accident? Like you just parked?
No, I took a walking tour, which was really cool.
Wow. Anyway, where's the time go? Anyway, Crappy Comic. Go to Cold Sluts on Fire.
At least he brings T-shirts.
Crappy Comic.
Crappy Comic has killer T-shirts.
Crappy Comic has killer. Well, you have nothing to do with the T-shirts. They're funny.
Yeah, it's true. But come on, they're free. Throw the dog a bone over here. Why don't you?
Thank you.
Anyway, go to coldslutsonfire.com. Go to YouTube.
Net. Don't go to that net.
Go to YouTube. Go check out Cold Sluts on Fire, Facebook, Twitter, and your Twitter handle is The Crappy Comic.
I'm so excited about the shirt.
Right, and Josi is so happy about the shirt. And Josi Kat all over the internet.
Josi Kat, K-A-T. Just Google me.
Join us next week. Your last show officially as a co-host with Richie Ramone and Lenora Claire. Everybody have a wonderfully creepy week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Mark.